Welcome to Convocation. Before I introduce our presenter, I'd like to thank Professor Phil Keene and the Snow College Music Department for making arrangements for today's Convocation. We are delighted to welcome Kassa Overall and his group to the stage today. He is a musician, MC, singer, producer, and drummer who over the past 2 years has released 4 critically acclaimed projects. Go Get Ice Cream and Listen to Jazz in 2019, I Think I'm Good, and Shades of Flu in 2020, and Shades of Flu 2 in 2021. His experimentation with sound and music of varied genres will intrigue you. He has been working at the forefront of jazz for 2 decades, touring and recording as a sideman drummer with artists Jerry Allen, Vijay Iyer, Francis and the Lights, Yoko Ono, Peter Evans, Carmen Lundy, and Gary Bartz. His work as a producer can be heard on albums by Theo Croker, Ardo Lindsay, and Das Racist. In 2021, the Jazz Journalists Association named him Electronics Specialist of the Year. He was raised in Seattle, spent some time in New York City, but now he's back based in Seattle. Please join me in welcoming Kassa Overall and his band.
Hello there.
How y'all doing? Hi in the back. Can we get a round of applause for the sound people? They came in last night because we had so many electronic boxes. So,
Thank you.
Snow College. How you doing? Give it up for Tomoki Sanders on saxophone and electronics. Ian Fink on keys. Benji Alonso on percussion. Give it up for yourself. We're really happy to be here. If you don't like it, throw tomatoes at us. We like tomatoes. That's why I wore this white hoodie. Let's go! It's early.
Much too early.
Baby, it's late. Am I too late to get loose?
Yeah, y'all still with us? I know it's early. I just gotta tell them all, I was really born to ball. Every time I try to crawl, there they go and tell me no. I don't really know how, but this is my time now. Yeah, this is our time now. Yeah, this is y'all's time now. But who's on the playlist? Make them say, oh, nah, 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 nah. Sheesh. Woo. I just gotta tell him, I just gotta tell him, I just gotta tell him. Let it rock. I just gotta tell him, I just gotta tell him. Sheesh. I was really born to ball. Every time I try to crawl, there they go and tell me no. I don't really know how, but this is our time now. Yeah, this is our time now. Yeah, this is our time now. This is our time now. This is our time now. This is y'all's time now. This is y'all's time now. Let's cut the track. Check it out. But who's on the playlist? What's a fallen man on the A-list? He thought it was painless. What's a jazz cat that would rather be famous? What's the meaning of life? What's the meaning of algorithms if the rhythm is out of rhythm? I could give them that power pivot. I was living without a gimmick. Now they want it, I gotta give it. They was living on superstition, new religion, super Christian. 20 million, my crucifixion. Blind man with the lucid vision. I loosen the noose, crucible proof, the truth in the booth. And woo! I just gotta tell them all. I was really born to ball. Every time I try to crawl, there they go and tell me no. I don't really know how, but this is our time now. This is y'all's time now. This is our time now. Thank you very much. How many minutes was that? How many seconds? That's about 25 minutes. Well, anyways, we're supposed to play for 25 minutes, but when we're on stage, it's really hard to tell how much time is going by while we're playing, so I hope that was the right amount of time. Any questions? I always like to start out with any questions for the extremely courageous and confident types that feel like they're ready to jump right in. That's a very interesting question. So it's a long answer. But so I was born in a hippie household, and my parents, I was literally born in the house, literally. And my brother's 4 years older than me, and they got him a drum set when I was born. And as most infants like to do, they like to be like their older brother, so I started playing the drums in diapers, right? But the reason it's a complicated question, and this may be this may be taking it a little weird, but I went and saw this channeler once when I was in like college, and she said that I've been a drummer for many lifetimes. So there's that too. But I guess, any more questions? Great question. So one more time, Tomoki Sanders on sax and electronics. Ian Fink on keys. Benji Alonso on percussions. So I've lived in New York for the past however many years, and most of these connections came through New York. Tomoki's originally from Japan, but we met at Smalls Jazz Club, I think. We met at Smalls Jazz Club, which is like the jam session in New York. And, you know, we were familiar with each other on the internet, and then you see people in real life, and it's like, yo, we got to do something. And believe it or not, this is Tomoki's first gig with us. So we're very excited to have some fresh energy in the band, some fresh like, you know, Ian Fink. So my one of my mentors and one of the first people I played with was Jerry Allen, and she's one of the greatest jazz pianists of all time. And she passed away a few years ago, so she'll always be with me. And Ian Fink studied with her for 5 years. So that's how I became familiar with him. And he lives in Detroit. And the New York jazz pianists were getting a little, I don't know what the word is, when they're getting a little like arrogant or like a little like assuming like, no, we got this. So I was like, I called in somebody from Detroit, like, hey, Detroit, we need somebody to come in and balance out the force, so to speak. And Benji, I've known Benji pretty much as long as I've been in New York. And we just been like hanging on the scene for years, you know. And, I was looking for a percussionist, and I was hanging with my lady, and I said, what about Benji? And she was like, you can never get Benji. He plays with Miley Cyrus. And I called him, and I said, I didn't know if I could get you because you play with Miley Cyrus. He said, always call me. And so that's it. So, yeah. Shout out to Miley Cyrus. She done messed up. Any more questions? I do have things that I can say to you, but answering questions is a lot more fun. Well, all right, I'll ask myself a question. What did you guys just do just then? So, basically, what I wanted to talk about was that, you know, this music that we play, it is very connected to improvisation. And not only, you know, improvisation is kind of like this very scientific term, right? We were talking about science and spirituality just a minute ago. And it's a very scientific kind of term, like making it up on the spot, you know. But I think what we're really trying to do is we're trying to tap into our intuitive nature and our subconscious nature and try to tap into our, you know, higher self if possible. And, you know, sometimes when you don't know what to do, that's when you start relying on the more kind of faith side of things. So what we're trying to do is tap into something unknown and find something special for this exact moment that will never happen again. You know what I mean? And sometimes that means it may be a little loose. It may be not perfect, you know. And we're in a time where perfect is kind of like easy, you know. People shoot their videos, edit it, get the coloring right, filter, you know. And it's like that gets old, to be honest, you know. I'm I'm getting old, and I'm telling you now, it gets old. So we were improvising, and then we added a few elements. You know, we added a bass drum that we had prepared, and we added a track, and I did my little rap. But basically, it's like we're trying to tap into the intuitive nature of our creativity. So that's what that was. Good question. Thanks, man. No. Sorry. Sorry, man. Yeah. You want me to freestyle? All right. Play the My Friend drums. I'll spit a freestyle. I'm not scared. Yeah. I'll take the chords too. I'll take the beat and I'll take the chords too. What more could I do? The floor looks new. Something like 22. Oops, I meant 23. I'm feeling like Jordan on my shoe. What it do? I'm feeling brand new, but my sweater is from last year. Trying to get my merch off. Trying to get the work off. I might just rip my shirt off. I did some sit-ups before I came here. Not enough, though. I'm still feeling sluggish. I don't know, man. Shout out to Bone, the thuggish ruggish. I'm in the zone, feeling like a jazz cat. I'm feeling like a hazmat suit. It's a pandemic, at least it was back in Brooklyn. Out in Utah, they don't know what a mask is. So I'm feeling free, like what has this been? It's like 2 years of what am I doing? I'm trying to get back to what it was before. I had a tour laid on the floor, settled the score. About to sell a bunch of merchandise. Might move to the woods and start raising cows. What you know about farming? Shout out to Ephraim. I got some bars I could teach him. I be spitting that off of the top of the supercalifragilisticextra. You know how it do, man. It's all about the mistake, but I never mistake intuitive nature. I'm just trying to bake a cake that I could give to you. It's almost Valentine's Day. Who do you love? Who do you hate? Is it a polarity? Is life great? Sometimes I wake up feeling like, man, I don't want to do this today. But that's what discipline is. You gotta do what you gotta do. I gotta do what I gotta do. I could probably say I gotta do 22 times and you'll probably say it sound cool. But that would be filler. That would be like no nutrients in the food. That would be like too much carbs and butter. I mean, what's all this sugar in my water? I mean, what's Powerade really? They just hopped on Gatorade and tried to steal the market share. Move your car, you can't park it there. You might get towed. I'm trying to unload what I got on my chest. It's a feeling to get rid of the stress. I'm feeling blessed in the moment. This isn't an omen, this is just me cooking top ramen with the hot water. Back in 5th grade, I had a bully would chase me down the street. He said, "Where's Kassa? He ain't from the hood." I said, "Man, I'm just trying to be cool, man. I might have to fight him when I see him." I never seen him. I moved to Ohio, started learning how to smile. Had a couple psychedelic trips, got sent back to Seattle. Learned how to battle, shake and rattle. But one thing I learned, don't be a tattle. Tell it on the mountain. Don't be searching for the youth or fountain. Just be you, even if you 85. Tell the kids how to survive. Things change. Let me get the chorus. What would you do? Something you can't say. Righting my wrongs. Hold on to my way. Where would you go? If you had a home, who would you call? You can use my phone. I can't tell you who's on the other end, but you'd listen. If you were my friend, my friend, my friend, my good, good friend, my friend. Cut it. Thank you. I love that chord at the end. He said, oh, man. Freestyle, I'll get you in a second. Freestyling is funny because when you're doing it, if you stop and think about it, you'll get scared. But if you if you never, like, observe yourself, it's almost like you're watching a movie. It's the weirdest feeling. How'd you get a mic? Yo, that's fire. Suddenly, he's like, I brought my own. He hacked into the system. Okay, this is another really long answer. And after this question, we're gonna have some other cats answer some questions because I'm not trying to be a ball hog. I just like to talk. But this is a good question because I wanted to say this. When I was in high school, I played in the big band. And this was my senior year, I think. Definitely was my senior year. I was just starting to learn how to be, like, anxious and weird. And you know what I mean? Like, I was just starting to develop the concept of insecurity because my whole life I was just wild, right? I was just like, I'll bungee jump. You know? So, anyways, we were playing in the big band. It was like a Count Basie shout chorus, you know? Ding, 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 ka ba, 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 or whatever. And I swear, I was on this, I had this feeling, and I was on the ceiling looking down at me, killing it, right? And in that moment, every note I played was a perfect note. It was like Neo in the end of the Matrix. It's like pow, 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 pow. Some of y'all probably can relate to this feeling. And it felt so good. And I was like, wow, I've mastered drumming. I beat the game. And also, in that moment, all of those, like, life hesitations were answered. It was like, oh, I figured it out. You know, it's like, I just gotta. And then I came off stage, and one of the jazz moms came up to me, and she said, what are you doing for college? And I said, I'm going to music school. And I swear I hadn't made that decision yet. It just fell out of my mouth, you know? And that was when I decided, you know? And it was like I call those quantum growth moments, when you have something that happens like in a moment and it changes your life more than like 10 years of living your life. It's crazy. So I would say there's been many moments like that, but usually it's some kind of like inspiring moment. Something happened and you're like, all right, I'm not drinking no more. Like, all right, you know, like, all right, that's what it's about. Next question. How did we end up in Ephraim? I would love to let them answer that, but that they would have not have a good answer for that question. So, Phil Keene, Professor Keene in the back. Can we get a round of applause for Keene? I've known Professor King for many years. We both moved to New York around the same time, and we've played together a whole lot. And he's played some incredible music. Like, you all might not exactly know who you have, but he's a cat that, like, if he was in New York, his wife would be mad because he'd be working all the time. You know, he's one of the best bass players I know, and so he brought us out, you know. He brought us out to work with the kids and blah, blah, blah. The kids. Sorry. Working with the kids. You know, the kids. Let's get some more questions, man.
Who inspired me to play music? Definitely, I'll say John Coltrane's definitely my first influence, and who inspired me to play the saxophone and do all this stuff actually. Cause I started to hear John Coltrane when I was in 4 years old. My mom got me John Step, Blue Train, all these kind of classic jazz records from the Blue Note, Impulse Records, Prestige, and all. And I was literally a kid playing, you know, NES and Nintendo's GameCube and all that. And I was just like this weird kid who loved to be very imaginative. Like, I kind of believe this music is one of the most imaginative music out of any, I don't want to say style or any kind of vibe. That's my personal opinion. And yeah, I mean, like, there's so many people. Jay Dilla, another great hip hop producer, who utilize the human, you know, like feel of rhythm. You know, it's not quantized like computer, like, you know, you can press the quantize button. None of that. Like, this person was like, screw that. I'm just gonna do my own thing, humanize the machines and humanize everything, the samples, and make my own music. And it kind of inspired me to do stuff like this, really. And it's that spontaneity moment. You know, you have to be very spontaneous, you know, to make these kind of like improvisations sometime, you know. Sometimes there'll be moment and you'll be like, what is this? I don't know how to play around it. I'm just gonna be like, I'm gonna jump right in. I'm like, I don't care. You know, I'm you know, having too much energy, you know, all that. I just love to be on the spot and just feel this, like, this moment. It's like a ritual thing, you know. And like, whatever, you know, all the cats are putting out their sounds, you know, it kind of inspired me to really tap into that. What Kassa said, like, you have to tap into faith to really to reach out to the unfamiliar side of music. So yeah, that's my my answer for the most part. Thank you.
New question for a new person. That was dope. Next question. They gonna be like, I'm looking forward to this one.
Oh, thank you. Yes, thank you. Can y'all hear me? All right. Why did I choose Kassa Overall? You about to sit? Okay. Well, anyway, I've been following Kassa's music. Well, also Kassa on Instagram for some time. And you know, he's someone that actually, like, all right, so personally, you know, I'm a jazz musician. I'm rooted in jazz. I'm rooted in jazz piano. But I'm into all kinds of music. You know, I've always been into, like, you know, Steely Dan. They're like one of my favorite bands, like the Beatles, Jay Dilla. All these kinds of people are people that inspire me to make music. It isn't just jazz, and it isn't even just musicians that inspire me to make music. But Kassa is one of those people that it seems that he is both a master of his craft in terms of jazz and in terms of his, like, you know, because there's a lot of people who are, you know, people that kind of cross over, but they're not necessarily super rooted in they're not rooted in jazz, like, as deeply. They're more so just kind of like jack of all trades type of thing, which is cool. But Kassa kind of has come from the same roots that I came from, and he's doing this, like, solo path thing that is inspiring for me. And also, I needed the gig, so, you know, that's so, because yeah, so I'm happy to be doing this and happy to be here in Ephraim. So yeah, thanks, y'all.
I got kids. What if he said that and gave me the mic back? I got kids. I think we're probably gonna be running out of time soon. We got another question? I got to get Benji talking. Come on, somebody. A question for Benji. Sorry, bro. Bam. What was it like working for Miley Cyrus? OYG.
Oh.
He didn't quit. I mean,
I
he's.
didn't-
Let's morph this.
Okay.
Why'd you quit? In addition, what's it like? How about that?
Okay. Why did I quit? Didn't quit. You wouldn't quit that, would you? It was a situation where they needed a percussionist for SNL because she had her song Plastic Hearts, and that's percussion in that. And when I heard that song, I'm like, oh my God, it's like me playing it already. So when I went and I did that, they liked me so much that they hired me to do another event in, it was like a one-time thing, right? So they asked me to do a Pride event in Nashville, and you can stream it on Peacock. And that was one of those things. It was they flew me out. I did that. I was with her for a week. She's insanely talented. Okay, you know, you see people on TV like, oh, they probably just got that gig because of who they know, their daddy, right? Right? But yo, she came into the rehearsals and she was, even though she didn't know the stuff like right away, she like nailed stuff that I'm like, you gonna nail that note with that graspy voice that you got? She was nailing everything. She's amazing. She's a really kind person. Like, I would do stuff that I'm like, oh my God, am I doing the right thing? And she's like, yeah, you need to play that. That's awesome. So I got Miley Cyrus co-signed, so that's cool. And was that it? And I want to add, it's amazing to work with Kassa. I want to answer the same question, kind of. Just because, you know, he asked me to do the gig, and I was kind of waiting for this moment because I think 5 years ago, I told you this, we were doing a Winter Jazz Fest in New York, and, you know, it's a bunch of talented people in the room. And I was about to, I saw Kassa, I was like, all right, man, I'll see you later. You know, I got to go home, I got to go do something else. And I'm about to leave, and then Kassa's on drums, and he does this solo that made me come back inside and just look at this, like, yo, what is he playing? Like, this was when you was practicing, like, every day. I mean, he's still good. I'm not saying he's not good now. But like, he was just, like, making the drums speak in a way that I was like, I gotta play next to this guy so I could elevate. So you gotta play next to people that are better than you. Kassa.
Shout out to Benji. And I promise I'm gonna start practicing, y'all. I promise. I've been practicing, actually. I've been working my
I need to practice
pad.
too.
Yeah, let's get a little shade going or something while we on this. By the way, this is a beginning. We got a whole run. We're about to be out for the next week or so. And I bought a van. We're about to be in a van driving. Shout out to my guy Ian Perlman here, also taking pictures and videos. We lived together for years in Brooklyn, and now he's like our road manager / videographer, so big shouts to Ian. Yeah. Oh, well, we're flying to Seattle just so we don't hit any deers, and then we'll. And you had a quick question. Beanie. There we go. You good.
Oh,
Yeah, she's cool.
No, she's really cool. Really, really cool. And ADD, I think.
Are y'all out of here at 1:20? Is that the agreement we've made? All right, so one last question. Am I flying what? with the band? Oh, am I flying with the band?
Yeah, man, we got military.
You're from the future, huh? He's like from the Elon future where you can fly your van to. All right, well, one last time, make a big round of applause for yourself. Thank you for coming. If you have any questions for any of us, feel free to come talk to us. If you see us, we're happy to be here. Thanks for coming. Pay attention in your classes. Tip your waiters. And come to my show tonight at sometime tonight. Come to the show. I got vinyl and Fluno hoodies. Love y'all.